all boots are on the ground this festive season, and there are also fears of possible unrest due to that judgment for Jacob Zuma to go back to jail after he was released on medical parole. Our reporter Heidi Giokos is following the story for us. She joins us now live. So Heidi, of course, there's some nerves around the country about possible unrest because of that court ruling. So will the military actually be deployed this festive season, and will they watch out for possible unrest?
Well, interesting fact here, Shahan, the military apparently has already been deployed, but this is not due to the possibility and the nervousness around unrest that could be sparked by what has happened with former President Jacob Zuma. It's got to do with the fact that the Minister of Defence, Thandi Modise, highlighting the fact that there was an urgent need for the military to move in to assist the South African Police Service when it comes to certain road closures around truck drivers and the issue that was sparked along the N3 about a week or two ago, and something we have been seeing for several weeks now. So the minister highlighting the fact that when there's a need, the military will move in. This doesn't, however, exclude the fact that the military is going to be deployed should the need arise and if there is a possibility of unrest. The minister, when we asked the question whether or not they are on standby, given what happened in July and the devastation and the death that was caused because of the looting and the unrest, the minister saying that they are definitely on standby. And this is something, of course, very different to what we saw actually and what we witnessed in July, when the reaction was almost very late, and there was much criticism about where our security cluster actually was, because they only reacted much later after there was so much devastation. But according to the minister, she says that all boots are on the ground, but we will most certainly be seeing the military on key strategic economic routes, for example, the N3, where they've seen a little bit of disruption with regards to the truck drivers. But let's listen to the Minister of Defence, Thandi Modise.
You may recall that just before the local government elections, we stood right here and we said that we have an interest as the military to look after strategic infrastructure. We have been in discussion since with the Minister of Police, and Defence has agreed to take over just the toll roads and the toll gates specifically. And that decision was taken because we cannot afford a situation as a country where trucks block very strategic economic routes, which not only affect South Africa but affect the whole of SADC.
I imagine the KwaZulu-Natal Premier will welcome that deployment.
Yes, indeed. Our senior reporter, Sepamandla Goge, got a chance to actually ask him this question, because we did see, Shahan, about a week or two ago, how the trucks had been blocking strategic economic routes, and this causes massive disruption. But also, I think what must be comforting for the Premier is to know that there is support should the need arise, especially if there is some kind of unrest. Previously, when there was unrest in July, it was KZN was hardest hit, and of course we need all deployments out if that does happen. And this is, of course, something that the Premier of KZN welcoming, saying that it's crucial for all the boots to be on the ground to make sure that should anything devastating like July happen again, that the reaction is a lot faster this time around. Let's listen to the Premier.
We support the deployment of the army and all other law enforcement agencies, because some of the things that are happening are not necessarily about former President Zuma, but about other concerns. But while we support the deployment, those concerns must be addressed. That include the plight of South African truck workers who are saying they can't get employed in the same industry in other areas, in other countries. But people of other countries get employed in this country in the same industry, which deny them opportunities. And that's why we have said the Department of Labor must work with speed to address the employment and labor regulations that guide the employment of foreign nationals.
And then, Heidi, of course, the eNCC deciding to keep South Africa on adjusted alert level 1 of the lockdown.
Yes, I think many South Africans are excited. We are going to have a hard lockdown-free Christmas this time around, Shahan. But of course, the National Coronavirus Command Council recommending that we stay on adjusted alert level 1. But they are advising that everybody should act responsibly, even though hospitalization and death rate remains very low compared to the second and the third wave. Omicron seems to be highly transmissible, and this is something that they have not seen with previous waves. So just looking at the data coming out, the Department of Health did recommend that there is no need at this present stage for a harsher lockdown because of how there is not much strain on hospitals at this stage. Of course, the Department of Health saying that we should all act responsibly this festive season, as it is, of course, still early days, and we'll possibly hear more details from the Department of Health tomorrow when they brief at 8 a.m. As to how serious the situation is. And we know Omicron's highly transmissible, but is there a need for harsher lockdown restrictions? It seems at this stage not. But once again, South Africans are urged to act responsibly, and if they are not vaccinated yet, the message from the Department of Health is get vaccinated if you can. So we will have a lockdown-free December, Shahan, I hope. I hope nothing changes.